Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update video. Two pieces of news to talk about here. The first of which is that today is Shadow of Kyoshi release day, July 21st, 2020. The book is out right now in hardback, physical copy. You can get the ebook as well. And then also the audiobook for the Shadow of Kyoshi is actually available today. I think this probably took a lot of people by surprise because we were sort of almost expecting it to be delayed and stuff like that. But no, it actually has come out on the day they said it would. So the Shadow of Kyoshi audiobook release has been very well done. I've been listening to it myself as I've been doing my chapter analysis videos. So that's been pretty fun. And because of delays with shipping because of the virus and how tricky it is to get the ebook if you're not in the right region, the audiobook is actually probably the easiest way to get and read the Shadow of Kyoshi, just because it's easier to sort of get past the region restrictions on the audiobook apps and stuff like that than it is the ebook sites. You have to jump through less hoops to get the audiobook, so that's really good that it's available straight away. Unfortunately, it's brought with us probably one of the funniest things I've seen in a while for the Avatar franchise, and that is just that on Audible, the place that is saying both of these books are only available from Audible, The Rise of Kyoshi, the first Kyoshi novel, is not actually available right now in audiobook. Obviously, I have a screenshot I took basically much earlier on, but I'm looking at on my screen right now as I'm recording this, the like a refreshed version of the page, still not available, and we're nearly towards the end of the 21st. So I don't know what happened here. The date has changed for the Rise of Kyoshi audiobook to the 24th of the 7th, 2020. And it changed overnight because I checked this yesterday and it was still the 21st. Both of them said the 21st and said pre-order, but now the second book is available on audiobook, the first book isn't. And I don't have a clue why. For anyone wanting to get the Rise of Kyoshi audiobook, go to Urban Audiobooks. It is actually available there with the 21st date. And as you can see, we finally have the covers for both of these audiobooks as well. And as expected, they're literally just extended kind of art versions as a square of the covers of the books. So no clue why the Rise of Kyoshi audiobook was delayed by like nearly 3 months just for that cover. Absolutely baffling. It's definitely been one of the worst organized releases in Avatar. It's definitely between Team Avatar Tales and its massive delays, just the pure length of the delays, and then the Rise of Kyoshi for, like, I suppose the reasoning behind some of the delays, and just the situation that we're in now of being delayed for months because of the cover of the audiobook, and then getting a 3-day delay on the release date when the other audiobook is out. Seemingly everything coming together for the 21st to be the release date of the audiobook for the first one and everything for the second book. But then it's the thing to do with the first book that gets delayed. Absolutely baffling. Absolute train wreck of a situation for that. So really funny. I probably won't be doing a separate video covering like my review of the Shadow of Kyoshi audiobook just because I don't feel I need to. I covered my thoughts on just, I suppose, Avatar audiobooks with the first one. It's the same narrator again, Nancy Wu, and I think she continues to do a very good job. Anything I have to say about the audiobook, I will cover in my chapter analysis videos for Shadow of Kyoshi, which will basically come down to pronunciation for names and stuff like that, places. So check out that series of videos if you want the full details on Shadow of Kyoshi. So that's all of that stuff, which is interesting. But the other news, the big piece of news here, Legend of Korra is coming to Netflix in America. So Netflix have announced officially with their tweet here, "She's the Avatar, you've got to deal with it. The Legend of Korra is coming to Netflix on August 14th in the US. So very similar announcement to the one they made a few months back about Avatar coming to Netflix, and now Korra is coming to Netflix also. big news. I really undervalued how big the news of Avatar coming back to Netflix was a few months back. Avatar took off again when that happened. And I knew it would like bring people back in, but the extent to which it did was really, really impressive to me. And just I could see it just with the analytics on my channel. The people coming back to some of my more popular videos, and just in general across my channel, most of my videos being Avatar, I noticed a large rise in number of views and stuff like that on my channel over the months basically since it's happened, and it's still kind of up from where it was before Avatar came back. So I assume this is going to do much of the same thing. It's going to sort of spike the fandom again, this time I suppose more on the Korra side of things. But I suppose it will also potentially get other people back in as well to maybe rewatch Avatar again, then go into Korra. And it's going to be interesting to see just how, if it happens again. So this is good. I hope this, with this being kind of Korra's time to shine, I hope it gets the respect it deserves this time. Because Korra took a little bit of a beating when Avatar was released. Some of the discussions going back and forth with the focus on Avatar, Korra was getting a lot of, I think, disrespect that it didn't quite deserve, just with some of the discussion in the fandom at the time. You're seeing a little bit of this already, in that if you look at the comments under the post that I have the screenshot of here, yes, there's a lot of people, immediately being like, Korra's awesome, which is great to see, but then you do have immediately people being like, no, Aang's the best, Avatar's the best, and the criticism for Korra coming out again when it's not really needed. I suppose I'll just quickly address this here. Look, both shows are excellent. Avatar is one of the best animated shows of all time, if not the best. Korra is also one of the best animated shows of all time. I think the majority of people would agree that Avatar is the better show, but that is not to say Korra is like miles behind it, or that Korra is exceptionally weak. In my opinion, both shows have their flaws. I do feel just that Korra has a few more than Avatar does, and I've discussed that many times in the past in detail, so it's not just like a kind of hot take opinion that like I tend to prefer Avatar over Korra, but I think that's the way most sort of, I suppose, fair opinions on both series go, and that's the thing, like, more Avatar is better. So if you can have that opinion of like both shows work well together, you just have more Avatar. And this is coming from someone who kind of treats all of the content pretty similarly. Like I don't really make that big of a distinction between if it's Avatar, if it's Korra, if it's the comics, if it's the novels. It's all Avatar to me, and I'm gonna view it and review it in the same way. So I kind of don't get this kind of weird, unnecessary sort of loyalty to ATLA just because it's the first thing. It's a very sort of kind of going to the Transformers fandom, it's very kind of G1 mentality here of just like original or nothing, which I don't quite get, but I'm excited to see some kind of Korra opinions kind of come out here once again. Hopefully it's not too much of the negativity, because I think Korra is an excellent show. It has so many great episodes, and really in the grand scheme of the show, there's only a handful of weaker episodes, and everything else is overall pretty good. Definitely there were improvements that could have been done and so on, but for the most part it's a fantastic show. And the fact that the comics are continuing both Avatar and Korra, I really hope this is the week we finally get the next Korra comic announcement. It would be so nice to have this announcement of the show coming back to Netflix, and then later on this week we have the kind of Avatar Comic-Con panel, that hopefully there's news of what's next for Korra. It would be really nice to fit that all together to really hype up stuff for the series. But yeah, that's only a few weeks away. I've already had someone ask me, will I be doing a similar video to the one I did on the day Avatar came to Netflix, which was my top 10 Avatar episodes discussion. it was like a long-ish video, like I think it was like 45 minutes long, where I went through my top 10 episodes of Avatar, sort of in detail, explaining it. I put a lot of editing into that. It's probably the video that I did that took the longest to put together. If I have the time, I will do something similar to that. I don't know if I'll be able to put the same amount of sort of just work and effort into the video as the first one, in terms of like, I probably won't have as many sort of screenshots from the episodes. That was the thing that just took ages to do. So it might be just a little bit more simplified version of the same style of video, but for Korra this time. Again, if I do it, it'll be out on August 14th with the launch of Korra on Netflix. Discussing my top 10 Korra episodes, which is always very fun to do, because especially the best episodes of Korra are excellent, and they do rival some of the better episodes of Avatar. That's one really good aspect of Korra, is that when it's good, it's really, really good. So I'm excited to do that if I get the time. Again, lots of Shadow of Kyoshi content coming out. In doing a video on every chapter of that book, I've given myself 20 to 30 videos straight away to do, plus podcasts and stuff like that to organize, and potentially there's going to be news maybe this week. We'll see if anything happens there, which I suppose is just a quick reminder, is that Friday is the Avatar Comic-Con panel. It's going to be up on YouTube, and we'll see what happens. It's a pre-recorded panel, we know, so I don't know if news is necessarily going to be at the panel, but I think regardless, we'd always be looking more towards some sort of a news article coming out in or around Comic-Con time. So my guess would be that maybe Wednesday, Thursday, maybe earlier Friday before the panel, that might be when an article drops revealing some news about upcoming comics. I personally lean towards it probably won't happen, just because, it's been so long. Why would they, deliver now? It just seems like it's just not going to happen. But hopefully something happens. But there are my thoughts on the news. In the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on this stuff. Shadow of Kyoshi released, Korra coming to Netflix, and Comic-Con coming up on Friday. But that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.